Yahuwah, God of my salvation. I have cried day and night before thee. Let my prayer come before thee. Incline thine ear unto my cry. For my soul is full of troubles, and my life draweth nigh unto the grave. I am counted with them that go down into the pit. I am as a man that hath no strength. Free among the dead, like the slain that lie in the grave, whom thou rememberest no more. And they are cut off from thy hand. Thou hast laid me in the lowest pit, in the darkness in the deeps. Thy wrath lieth hard upon me, and thou hast afflicted me with all thy waves, Selah. Thou hast put away my acquaintance far from me. Thou hast made me an abomination unto them. I am shut up, and I cannot come forth. Wilt thou show my eye mourneth by reason of affliction. Yahweh, I have called daily upon thee. I have stretched out my hands unto thee. Wilt thou show wonders to the dead? Shall the dead arise and praise thee? Selah, shall my loving kindness be declared in the grave, or thy faithfulness in destruction? Shall thy wonders be known in the dark, and thy righteousness in the land of forgiveness? But for unto thee have I cried, O Yahuwah, in that morning shall my prayer prevent thee. I am that I am. Why castest thou afar off my soul? Why hidest thy face from me? I am afflicted, ready to die from my youth up. While I suffer thy terrors, I am distracted. Thy fierce wrath goeth over me, and thy terrors have cut me off. They have came round about me daily like water. They compass me about together. Lover and friend hast thou put far from me, and my acquaintance into darkness. Psalms chapter 88. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have swayed the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. Establish me in my seed, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, all praises to who? Yes, who? Him. The I am that I am. Whatever he do, that he is. The deliverer, a healer. He sets free. He gives you strength, and he gives you power over your enemies. Yes, this is the I am that I am. He doesn't need a son. He doesn't need a governor. He doesn't need anyone. But he uses many. Oh, praises to his loving and holy name. Not only his loving and holy, but his just name. Even if it depends on the demise of the wicked and the wayfaring soul that would destroy his own brethren or cause him to be defeated in violating him or her. All praises to him who will come at you for taking his name in vain. Yes, he is that spirit that moved upon the water, greater than any Holy Ghost can be. He occupies all time and space. There is none equal to the Most High. He doesn't divide himself. For hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. One God, who issues one law for the whole world, even those that would come through Jacob. Even those, he commands Jacob one law for the stranger. You will not be prejudiced. You will not be bigoted. You will not, whatever this person does, this one law. All judged by the same standard. And it's not that far distance, and we have failed him miserably. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You're walking with Mr. Clay. I'm Mr. Clay. And we just give God all praises. And also we thank God for those of you that have been with us since the beginning. Those of you that have been with us here and there's about. And those of you who have subscribed. And those of you who are about to subscribe. We thank God for you. Yes, we give God the glory and the praise. Yes, I'm certainly seeing the Most High move. Things that I didn't know I've said, and these things have come to pass. I'm looking at the Sahel states, and they're starting to come into one Africa. I'm starting to see many things that the Most High showed me, that the fact is that, or should I say, a messenger of the Most High showed me that these things was going to come about. But South Africa, I'm kind of leery about. But either way, for the rest, yes, there's a coming together. And to me, this could be the next superpower, but ruled in equity. Because one thing about it, a man after God's own heart will be fair. Yes. And we're in the book of 2 Kings, still in 2 Kings. And another thing is, I've had some issues with my carrier, my internet carrier, or my phone carrier, whatever you want to call it. But either way, I've decided I have to try to secure another carrier, to put it that way. So we might have some times of try to curtail everything into getting to you in a good amount of time and delivering to you, if not to continue our schedule that we're on. Yes. And also, teeth. That's a concern of mine about my teeth. It's really a concern because the fact is I got 2 teeth seem like they're ready to come out. I'm gonna let them fall out, really. If you see me snaggle tooth and my teeth seem to be disappearing, I'm gonna let them do that, and then I'll give the dentist some good work eventually and down the line. So don't be amazed when you see my teeth. It doesn't mean that I'm living out on the street. It doesn't mean that it's just the fact that sometimes you have to wait. If you want it to cost more, it's up to you. But instead of some people will go and get them all pulled out, and they have good teeth, or they have a few cavities here and there, and they just get rid of all of them. But then you got those who you might see look snaggletooth, and you think they have no money or have nothing. They just want them to fall out. Trying to save money, really. Yes. I mean, bridges, dentures, or whatever you call it. I am not young. I'll tell you that truth. I'm not young at all. But either way, we thank God for you, and you. And also, we are in the book of 2 Kings. Just a bit on my own personal things. Yes, we're in the book of 2 Kings. Yes. 2 Kings and chapter 11. Nope, chapter 10, I'm sorry. Chapter 10. We had ended on chapter 9. And we have where Jezebel had been killed, and we had other things happen in Israel. But now in verse 10, it's going to talk about this previous king, which really left an indelible mark on Israel. And Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria. And Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, Now, as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's son are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, and a fenced city also, and armor, look not even out the best and meetest of your master's son, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. But they were exceedingly afraid, and said, Behold, 2 kings stood not before him. Now how then shall we stand? And he was over the house, and he was over the city, and the elders who also, and the bringers up of the children, sent to Jehu, saying, We are thy servants. In other words, they just punked down. We have no strength over you, Jehu. We are thy servants, and we will do all that thou shalt bid us. We will not make any king do thou that which is good in thine eyes. In other words, God had told Ahab, not only Ahab, but not only his wife Jezebel, but everything of Ahab, just as he did with the rest of them, of the kings of Israel. Wiped out their whole family. Nothing left. No seed. When you wiped out the male, you wiped out the family. See, in the Western or the Christianity way of viewing things, and what they have enacted into law is that the mother can determine your lineage. But no, not so. Only in certain situations, as the high tribe of Manasseh, I believe, where the females didn't have no males in their family, so they didn't want their father's inheritance to go to anyone else. So God allowed that. But nevertheless, throughout the whole history, it was the father. This is why I say, who is your father? Who are your fathers? We ain't talking about no father founding. That's somebody else's father. This was the way that Israel, or the children of Jacob, kept their genealogies, through saying Jehu, son of so and so, or even with Jezebel. She was the daughter of a pagan or a demonic worshiper. Yes. So, verse 6. And then he wrote a letter a second time to them, saying, if you be mine, and if you will hearken unto my voice, take ye the heads of men of your master's son, and come to me to Jezreel by tomorrow this time. Now the king's sons, being 70 persons, wherewith the great men of the city which brought them up. Now you have to realize the prophecy that Elijah had put forth, Elijah, and now you're talking about Elisha is going to witness these prophecy come forth. This prophecy toward Ahab and his lineage, that he will have none left. Now, he said that they took the king's sons and slew 70 persons and put their heads in baskets and sent them to Jezreel. And there came a messenger and told him, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's son. And he said, lay ye them in 2 heaps in the gate until morning. You see this? He said, take ye the heads of your master's son and come to me to Jezreel. And they took the king's son, who? King Ahab, and slew 70 persons, for he had 70 sons, right? And put their heads in baskets and sent them to Jezreel. This is what Jehu told them. And there came a messenger and told him, saying, they have brought the heads of the king's sons. And he said, lay them in 2 heaps at the entering of the gate until the morning. And it shall come to pass in the morning that he went out and stood and said to all the people, be ye righteous. Behold, I've conspired against my master and slew him. But who slew all these? Know now that there shall fall unto the earth nothing of the word of the I am, which the I am spake concerning the house of Ahab, for the I am hath done that which he spake by his servant Eliah. So Jehu slew all that remained of the house of Ahab in Jezreel, and all his men and his kinfolks and his priests, and until he left him none remaining. And he arose and departed and came to Samaria, as he was at the shearing house in the way. And Jehu met with the brethren of Ahaziah, king of Judah, and said, who are you, or ye? And they answered, we are the children of Haziah, that's what it was, Haziah. And we go down and salute the children of the king and the children of the queen. And he said, take them alive. And they took them alive and slew them in the pit of the shearing house, even 42 men. Neither left he any of them. Why? Prophecy. They're going to Ahab's kids. And on their way, they met. I guess they met the horse called Death with the high rider called Death. And death followed him. Well, Revelation is a joke. Especially the ones who had written Revelation or translated it. Something's dead on that line. Some cat is dead on that line. We go just to say that if you look throughout the first books of the Bible, even those of Jubilees, Jasher, and even the first book of the Bible, or should I say the Ethiopian Bible, not the European Bible, the Ethiopian Bible. You had the book of Enoch. And each angel had a name. They had names. There was no angel that rode upon the earth whose name was Death, and the horse was named Death, and Death was the one that followed him when death means separation. It should have said the name of the angel was he who causes separation from the body. Yes, that's what it should have said. But nevertheless, that's not what it said. Okay, this is why I shun the New Testament. Okay, one of the reasons. And he said, take them alive, and they took him alive. In verse 15, and when he departed thence, he lighted off on Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, coming to meet him, and he saluted him and said to him, is thine heart right as my heart is with thy heart? And Jehonadab answered, it is. If it be, give me thine hand. And he gave him his hand, and he took him up into the chariot. And he said, come with me, and see my zeal for the I am. So they made him ride in his chariot. And when he came to Samaria, he slew all that remained unto Ahab in Samaria, till he had destroyed him, according to the saying of the I am, which he spake by Elijah. And Jehu gathered all the people together, and said unto them, Ahab served Baal a little, but Jehu served him much. Jehu gathered all the people and said, Ahab served this thing a little, and Jehu says, now therefore come all ye prophets of Baal. Now this is a setup here. He says, now come ye unto me, all ye prophets of Baal, and all ye servants and his priests, and let none be wanting, for I have great sacrifice unto Baal. Whosoever shall be wanting, he shall not live. But Jehu did it in subtlety. Okay, here we go. To the intent that he might destroy the worshipers of this evil being and idol. And Jehu in verse 20 said, proclaim a solemn assembly for Baal, and they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent throughout all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left that came not. And they came into the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was full from one end to another. And he said unto him that was over the versity, bring forth vestments for all the worshippers of Baal. And he brought them first vestments. Now you're talking about many of these Jesus followers, or Yahushua, and all these. Let me say something. Flesh and blood cannot possess all space and time. No way. Cannot create nothing except for what is already created, or from the items that are lay in the earth, which is created. The boasting of that Christians suffered, and then try to bring it up to the point to where Christians began to talk about how they suffered this and that. None have suffered like those, the Israelites or the children of Jacob. None have suffered more than they have. None. I don't care who you are. They have not suffered. They boast, in other words, many of them was a ploy. Because you have to realize Christianity hated the children of Jacob. They hated those who would follow the law. Christianity really hated it. Not only the Catholicism, but Protestantism also hated. And to this day still hate. And you think that this is going to happen this persecution is going to happen. God is going to have something. He's going to have a fit with you because you're worshiping what? Idols. You're worshiping that which is to your eyes. You're bowing down to a man. You've caused a man to be risen above God. You've made him to rise in the earth in his resurrection. But you're going to hear about a man that wasn't even resurrected but had more anointed in his body than any man that ever lived. Just his dead body. And Jehu went, verse 23. And Jehonadab, the son of Rechab, unto the house of Baal, and said unto the worshippers of Baal, search and look, that there be here with you none of the servants of the I Am, but the worshippers of Baal only. In other words, get rid of the children of Jacob. You Christians, all you people that worship idol, you idol worshipers, and the like. And when they came in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed 80 men without, and he said, if any of the men whom I have brought forth into your hands escape, he that letteth him go, his life shall be for the life of him. Now you go into old Israel and you talk about you, and before even this dark period or whatever you want to call it, and you go calling yourself saying that God, a man has replaced God, or God have come here on earth, you won't live very long. Matter of fact, at the last sentence, you will be gone, as far as the children of Israel. What in the world are you talking about? Who is Jesus? We don't know who he is. There is no saying of him. Who is this man that shall die and become God? Or a man God brought himself down to the lowest earth and allowed himself to be killed by the Satans? The devils have really made a fool out of us. Those of you who believe and those of you who have turned back to the law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances of the Most High. I'm not talking about being an Israelite as a religion. I'm talking about turning to the law, statutes, whatever they want to put the label on, let them do it. But you don't put a label on that. You are a convert to that which God has ordered Israel. That's what you would say. Doesn't put a label on anything. No, I'm not an Israelite. Please. Now, if my father's name was Israel, then I am. If my father's name was Jacob, I am of Jacob. But to follow the laws, statutes, commandments, ordinances of the Most High. What label are you going to give that? Just like the labels you give God. Many give him a name that he didn't even name himself. Even in the translations of the Bible, they've done that. Now, he says now, in verse 24, when they went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings, Jehu appointed. See, he said servants of the I Am, not of Jesus. He said servants of the I Am, not of Muhammad. Servants of the I Am, not of Buddha. Servants of the I Am, not of Baptist, Pentecostal, or whatever you want to be. But servants of the I Am who will obey his statutes, commandments, and ordinances. Until he comes with 10,000s of his anointed. Yes. Some of you can't even swallow that, really, because you've been so gone. I mean, if you're gone, you're just gone, period. God doesn't put any other label on you. He doesn't put any label on you, except for that you follow those things that are right. He says what? Follow the I Am. And what does that mean, to follow the I Am? Or serve the I Am? Would be his laws, statutes, ordinances, and commandments. That's what it means. And it came to pass, as soon as he had made an end offering the burnt offering, that Jehu said to the captains, go in and slay them. Let none come. Oh, this is a good one. And they came and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and the guard and the captains cast them out, and went into the city of the house of Baal, and they brought forth the images out of the house of Baal and burned them. Whoo, glory to God. And they break down The images of Baal. Now you have to realize, you said this, Easter said it will come to pass that any man that have, when he killeth thee, he gonna think he done God a favor. Well, what about when the Christians start killing the children of Jacob, thinking they have done God a favor? When Jesus said, forgive them, set them free. Come on now, let's call a buck a buck. I mean, Christians. See, Judah was told, the children of Israel was commanded to do what they did. But what was the commandment for the children of Jesus? Or this Yahushua, or this Yahusha? You're still a Christian, because you still follow those things. That's why the heathen don't bother you. Have you ever thought about it? You can still go and worship your Jesus, who was confused in the book of Revelation whether he was God or Jesus. Which one are you? Or are you the son of man or the son of God? Or were you the son of Joseph? Or did an angel come, or what you call it, a watcher come and get Mary and took the virgin and just gave her a baby, but he was allowed just to live a normal life? Oh, my. Let's get this right. Let's get it right. He said, it brought forth the images and they burned them. Oh, God is pleased. In other words, idolatry. This is very important. Idolatry, to keep every idolatry out of your mind, out of your heart, out of your house, out of your home. Idols. Anything that constitutes idolatry from before the Most High, Jacob, get rid of it. Out of everything. Men, women, children, images, whatever. Even your Yahushua, your Yahusha, your Yeshua, your Jesus. Idolatry. That was the best. That was one of the best ones, though. This Savior thing of the New Testament, oh man, it is a masterpiece of the Satans. God allowed it, yes he did. He allowed it all. How true it is, it's not true. Oh wow. There's so many stories. But either way, Jehu destroyed Baal out of Israel. All praises to the Most High. Howbeit the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin, Jehu departed not from after them, to wit, the golden calves that were in Bethel, that were in Dan. Now these were different gods, or different devils, or different idols. And the I am said to Jehu, because thou hast done well in executing that which is right. He said this through a prophet. In mine eyes thou hast done unto the house of Ahab according to all that was in my heart. Thy children of the fourth generation shall sit on the throne of Israel. So he gave him a blessing. 4 generations, your seed will sit on the throne of Israel. Now notice this throne sitting on the throne of Israel as it pertains to the seed of David. Later on as we read and things work out the way I think they should. But Jehu took no seed to walk in the law of the I am of Israel with all his heart, for he departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, which he made Israel to sin. In other words, they were worshiping the gods of Egypt. In those days, the I am began to cut Israel short, and Hazael smote them all in the coast of Israel, from Jordan eastward, and all the land of Gilead, the Gileadites, the Reubenites, the Manassites, and from Aor, which is by the river Arnon, even Gilead and Bashan. Now the rest of the acts of Jehu, all that he did in his might, are they not written in the books of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And Jehu slept with his father, and they buried him in Samaria. And Jehoahaz, his son, as God promised, another generation, reigned in his stead. And at the time of Jehu, that time Jehu reigned over Israel in Samaria 28 years. So Samaria was the capital of Israel at this point in time. But know this here. Idolatry. God's going to deal with this idolatry in the earth. He's going to deal with it. Many of you cannot do without seeing. Now you're getting so focused on media and all these things. Oh, this is not idolatry. Didn't American Idol show you that which you put up in high esteem is an idol? Now, when you take these things and put them up over high esteem over the Most High, even the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it becomes sin, because that is the first law and commandment. Idolatry, it was a sin even in the time of the Watchers. Yes, it was idolatry, the first commandment. Thou shalt not have any other gods or powers above me. And you can't see this is so intricate. It is so divisive. It is that they take this New Testament narrative and they give it to you. The greatest delusion ever told. Yes, it is the greatest story ever told. The greatest abomination ever told, to put a man over the Most High. Yet in so calling him the Most High, and the story being manipulated to the point where it's believable. I believe the same thing. I was a fool. Yes. But Brother Clay, everybody's doing it. You go ahead, do it with everybody, brother, sister. You do it with everybody. Do as you please. But be sure this, your sin is going to find you out. Even that first commandment. We don't pick and choose what commandments we should obey. We don't pick and choose those things. And with that, if we choose all of them, and we can construct all of them and do them, but yet we can keep the 10. Yes, God would help us to keep it 10. And with that, in keeping that 10, we shall have peace.
Walk with me.